All right. Hey guys. Finally, after such a long period of time, we're doing a proper cold read podcast.
Woohoo!
So excited.
Yeah.
And Jedi's with me. I'm not alone anymore.
Hello.
Yeah, last week I was alone and that was no fun.
No.
You guys, you poor souls in the comments, you're like, Ruka sounds so awkward. I'm like, well, that's because I have to read this rapey scene by myself, okay?
Oh, no.
I have to justify this somehow.
Well, your wingman's here, so don't worry.
Yes. Have you read the chapter yet?
I scanned through it, yes. Because we're a little bit behind.
Yeah, we both have read the chapter at least once over already. So this isn't like we're not just seeing it for the first time like we normally do. I'm pretty sure like the next couple episodes are probably just gonna be like we've read over it, and then we're just gonna read over it again, cold read style, and review it, as you do. Because suspense.
Suspense. We also have to make sure we're comfortable reading some of it, since it's a little. The last two have been a little bit interesting, so
they've been episodes that will warrant me having to put warnings before the dub starts. That's what it means, basically.
And even Life put a warning before 96. So
yeah,
this is being the continuation. We wanted to make sure all was golden and we were both comfortable doing everything. Since I apparently get to be all the boys today, woohoo!
Oh. I'm sorry.
You being the darn main character. One day.
I'm sorry, AKANE.
I have to play my brother.
Yeah, she
spoiler character and spoiler character, which we'll get to later. And
yeah, right. Which, by the way, spoilers ahead. I usually put that like in the text box, but I'm just gonna say it verbally so that my dislikers know that I say spoilers ahead.
Spoilers!
Exactly.
Nothing but spoilers! It's May the 4th, by the way. Happy May the 4th.
Yes, Jedi had to get that off her chest.
I had to plug it. I had to.
It was either going to come out as a Hayashi during the cold read or now.
Yes.
So.
I say I'm even wearing my May the Force Be With You t-shirt today. So.
Yes. And her profile picture is very Jedi.
Yeah.
Let's
nerd.
see.
Nerd.
No, you're.
I'm a nerd.
Not a nerd. We're all nerds.
Yes.
Here.
Some form or another.
Exactly. Okay, so we're gonna start reading this very, very soon. I'm sorry, I have pizza on my mind, and I'm trying to get into May's mindset, but all I'm thinking about is pizza.
I want pizza.
I know, I love pizza, and I'm gonna make it after this.
What kind of pizza do you like?
Pepperoni.
Ah.
Yeah.
I like pepperoni, black olives, and Italian sausage.
I mean...
Sorry, yes, back to ever starting. Sorry. Yes.
No, like, to each their own, man. Pizza the way you want a pizza.
I love pizza. I also like it just cheese and Alfredo sauce with stuffed crust.
Stuffed crust. I just had this revelation.
Yes?
May the 4th be with you.
We need fan art. We need May as a Jedi saying, "May the 4th be with you." Please, somebody help us.
Yes.
You're our only hope.
Hey. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. We're taking forever to get into this episode.
Yes.
So a quick recap. May returned from Kozuke's palace. She hasn't seen anyone but Hayashi. Hayashi wanted to see her. That led to him trying to force himself on her, being like, "Hey, sleep with me, concubine." Then she put him in a deadlock and said, "Are you satisfied?" Which is what the script. That's what it starts on. So I get to actually say this. Are we ready?
Get him, May.
All right. Well, Your Highness, are you satisfied now?
What do you think you're doing?
Giving you the treatment you deserve. What's wrong? Do you not like it?
I knew I shouldn't have made a move till you were drugged.
Look at his drugged tear.
The single tear welling up.
Yes, because it's the only way to tame such an unruly prostitute like you.
I'm sorry, Joe. Good luck with this, honey.
Ryusaki never would have told me you were such a...
That's gonna be some effect right there.
Oh, yeah. Whoop-ham.
Keep talking, and I'll dislocate your arm. Then, what? Who
Oh,
is
boy.
Your Highness,
I'm
I
sorry,
heard
your
some
voice.
commotion.
It's gonna...
KIHARA.
The General! I'm just kidding. She sounds like she's guilty there.
Yeah.
General? Thank goodness you're here. Wait, what? General, it's not what it looks like. The prince, he...
Thank you, Shibisaki. Although I made it perfectly clear that I wasn't interested in that filthy peasant, she still had the audacity to attempt to seduce me.
Boy? Son? Oh,
I just have to giggle. Audacity.
Yeah.
That's a recording program that we use.
We
to record
do.
Our audio,
Also, like
so.
we said, the general was gonna take her probably,
Yep, he's gonna betray her.
'cause status.
Yeah, and he's in league with Hayashi last time we checked
That's
in
true.
on them, and that's why AKANE went to go tell Katsu, because she was like, oh my gosh.
I forgot about that. Good point. All right,
Yes.
sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Yes. We gotta hear my beautiful Hayashi impersonation.
Poor Joe. Joe's gonna be like, I sound nothing like that.
He's gonna be like, what have you done? Anyway.
I can see that the rumors of her affair with the Lieutenant General aren't rumors after all.
What? I never did. Ugh.
Show reverence, peasant. You will keep silent and humble yourself, lest your punishment become more severe.
I'll make you an offer.
My voice cracked.
If you grovel at my feet for forgiveness and lay with me, I'll spare you any punishment.
It's lay with May. Okay, let's see.
Gosh dang it. You and your dad jokes.
It's gonna be May. Or not in this case.
I'm gonna get the shepherd's hook out and I'm gonna yank you off the stage, woman, if you keep this up. Just yoink you off the stage. Be like, all right, so I'm reading for all the characters now. I will be May and Hayashi and everybody else.
You said May. I'm sorry. Alright, go. I'm sorry. So many jokes with May today.
Yes, it is the merry month of May though.
It's amazing.
Oh gosh. You're canceled. You're canceled.
No.
Okay. All right, back to being creepy and evil.
Well, your answer?
When hell freezes over.
Oh, that panel made me so happy when I read through it earlier.
Pff, a pity. Maybe after some time in a cell, you'll feel differently.
Cell?
Throw her in the dungeon.
Yes, Your Highness.
What? Stop! Let go of me! Oh, yay.
Scrolly. Uh-oh. Oh, I get to be everybody.
I can always take on a boy. It just, you may regret it.
I mean, if you want to.
I'll be the soldier for
Okay.
you. Lieutenant General!
At ease. Where's General Shibisaki?
Oh, my heart, husbando. I love
Super
him.
husbando.
I love him.
I
Walking there, the Careless Whisper playing.
I guess I'll be the blonde guy.
I think he's with Prince Hayashi.
Oh my gosh. Sorry.
There was something of a commotion that happened earlier this morning.
All right, carry on.
All right, so I think this Hayashi.
Saying you do have full jurisdiction here. I'm not saying I want an execution. I simply think the woman ought to pay for her actions.
Oh, I messed
You're
it
about
up
to have a
anyway.
three-way conversation with yourself.
I
Do you want me to
realize.
take someone on?
Nah, I got it.
Do it.
Were you thinking of servitude?
Well, I'm not opposed to... Oh, Ryusaki.
Prince Hayashi, evening. General, I need to speak with you.
I love him.
Can it wait, Lieutenant? I was just speaking with His Highness about KIHARA May's crimes. Physician.
I inserted that.
Physician.
Excuse me? Crimes?
General, I'll finish with you later. I actually would like a moment alone with Ryusaki.
Very well.
Clip clop, clip clop, clip clop.
Hayashi, what crimes has May committed? Is she safe in the palace?
Well, where do I begin? First, there's a matter of her seducing me.
Oh, he looks so smug there! Ugh! Sorry.
You should have seen the outfit she was dressed in. Left hardly anything to the imagination. But then, the more serious matter, she attacked me. As you know, that's an official... As you know...
An official offense. Thank you, Brain.
As you know, that's an offense punishable by execution.
May? You're saying she seduced and then attacked you?
He knows what's up. I only let him seduce me.
Look at that poofed. He knows who wifey is.
He's like, I've tried, boy. I've tried
nah.
so many times.
And she's gonna go for a snake like you? I doubt it.
I doubt it.
Yes, but I don't see how that's any cause for amusement. It's quite serious what she's done. Asukai's bride or not, a woman simply cannot get away with such actions.
Of course.
Now, this pathetic excuse of an engagement is finally over with.
I see. So this is all about your obsession with making sure your sister becomes Asukai's queen.
Excuse me? What did you say?
Uh-oh, somebody's on to you. A king must have a royal-blooded queen, yes? None of that filthy peasant blood. Ooh, it would be a sin, wouldn't it?
Well, yes.
Asukai Katsu will likely cut ties with KIHARA May, and perhaps even entertain the notion of being with your sister. But your dreams of having any of this kingdom's power will ultimately be wasted. Word order.
Joe and Chrome doing this together is gonna be so good.
Ryusaki, I know we have a history of being outspoken with one another, but you would do well not to meddle in the affairs of royalty.
Oh no, someone doesn't know dear Ryusaki's heritage.
Do not forget your place.
He's about to tell him.
Oh yes.
Forgotten my place? Have I?
Yes. And if you would have just done what I told you to do in the first place, KIHARA May wouldn't be in a cell right now. All you had to do was lay with her. Were you not man enough? Ooh.
Ooh. Ooh.
He was.
He's
And
about to get.
he was not successful.
He's about to get. Ryusaki's
His
about to
comeuppance.
snap.
Because he didn't make a promise with AKANE.
No,
Katsu
he did
did.
not.
Yeah, but
If she hadn't tried to attack me, I'd have lain with her. I prefer my women a little more compliant. I should have drugged her. Oh, you little snake. However, I see the charm she used to seduce Asukai. In fact, if she will grovel at my feet and beg for my forgiveness, I may be inclined to pardon her crime and make her my concubine.
Why? Should
I'm
I?
sorry.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Okay. Why? Right
It
in
said
here.
it said lick.
I
and
know it said
inserted
link.
I'm sorry. Oh no, we got the snorts. No, bad Jedi, bad.
Oh, part of me is still processing the fact that you did that. Whew, okay.
She's a bit too spirited for my tastes, but I could break her.
Ugh. Uh-oh.
The fist is clenched.
It's coming.
With enough force. Oh, you little creep! Any woman can be made to comply. Ryusaki!
Oh, wow. That was bad.
Oh no. Keep going. I want to look into your eyes as you continue to abase my bride in front of me.
Yes, boy.
And
Just
that's all,
breathe,
folks.
Just breathe.
Just
breathe.
breathe. Let's try it. Okay.
Yes.
Ho, take. Anyway.
I love how that song's grown on people.
Yes, it has. All those cliffhangers, somebody's got to breathe at some point, because I know when I was skimming through this earlier, I was like, only inhaling, never exhaling. But, ooh, boy.
Ooh. Ooh.
Oh, and that's the thing is, like, all what Hayashi was, this is what my takeaway was, all of what Hayashi's saying, like, oh, royal blood this, royal blood that, know your place. Like, that's just a needle in Ryusaki's side, because he's not of royal lineage. His dad is, obviously he was the Blood King, but his mom wasn't. And he was treated as, like, a peasant growing up. And,
Yeah. I'd be very interested to know if we discover more about Ryusaki's heritage down the road, and what he's gonna do to Hayashi. Please.
like I said, he technically is the Blood King, as far as we know right now.
Mm-hmm.
Because Katsu didn't want anything to do with it. He wanted it to end. And Ryusaki kind of, and technically, depending on what the rules in the lore is, he is the eldest son, bastard or bastard or not. I mean, that's technically what he was.
I'm pretty sure it's leading up to him being officially that, you know, because based off of what the story has said, like, so far, you know, Ryusaki is more of the character who's seen, you know, doing the orders, doing the actions. Whereas Katsu, not so much. You know, like, we see glimpses of Katsu, but we don't know for sure. But I could see this conversation leading up to something
that
like
being
that.
Revealed.
Yeah. And maybe I know Fast Pass users, you probably know, and you're probably like,
don't you dare spoil it for us.
Don't spoil it. Don't spoil it. You know, or hint at it in the comments, because I mean, your hints are pretty obvious when you try to be subtle about it.
Yeah.
You're like, I wonder who the real king is. Wink, wink. And we've already gotten stuff like that, so I'm like, oh yeah. Okay, I get it.
I've had to mute some people on Twitter because they were trying to hint at spoiling stuff, and I was like, no, don't spoil it. We're taking this 1 week at a time, as and a lot of people are taking it, and so don't spoil it, because we want to keep it consistent instead of jumping ahead 4 weeks and then having to wait with a dry spell for 4 weeks to keep this more consistent. If you want to use FastPass, more power to you. It supports Lifelight, it supports Webtoon, and that's always a good thing. But for us slow bees, don't spoil or hint at spoiling or anything. Treat it as in-game spoilers. Just don't.
Just don't.
Just don't.
But the point was, just don't spoil it. But anyway, yeah, well, we were right on our theories from, well, at least, last week of that I had said about Mei, you know, still being a peasant, and Shibisaki being the one that would probably not take her side on it. And then Hayashi, you know, using the drug. I know a lot of people were like, he's gonna drug her. He tried. Yeah. She didn't take it. She didn't take the bait, so.
She remembered from the last time. She's like, no.
Yeah.
And I know we speculated 2 live podcasts ago of who would be the one to break up the situation between Hayashi and Mei, and it did end up being Shibisaki. We had a lot of thoughts.
Ryusaki came in late.
Yeah, he's a little late to the party.
And he's about to throw down Hayashi.
Yes, and more importantly, we still haven't got a resolution to who the hooded figure was that helped Ryusaki out.
That
which
is
is
true.
going to be very interesting. See if we touch back upon that subject.
That is true. I genuinely have no idea how that one's going to turn out.
I don't know either. And yeah. And what Mei is going to tell Ryusaki, and in regards to what happened between her and Kozuke.
Yeah,
on
and
their
where
merry
Katsu and
little adventure.
Akane is, you know.
Katsu and Akane need to come back, and
The gang needs to get back together.
we do. We need to have some meetups and some resolutions, and just I want more plot. And Lifelight just hands us such beautiful stories each week on a silver platter, and it's just not fair. They're just
the
so good.
drawings, the art, it's so beautiful. I love it. And it's going to be so much fun to
Oh
voice
my gosh, yes.
the
Although
next few chapters. I'm so excited.
Joe, my dear Joe, have fun, my sweet little cinnamon roll, because good luck.
I love how it's Joe, of all people.
He's so no.
He's so sweet, and like the exact opposite of Hayashi. Well, you know, he voiced Osamu before he voiced Hayashi. He was originally cast as Osamu, but since Osamu hasn't appeared hardly at all, I was like, we gotta cast you again because you're just too good, and I want you in my project.
Exactly.
So he doubles as Hayashi, which is the complete opposite of Osamu.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah.
Which I still hold to my theory that Osamu in some way or shape or form is related to Hayashi and Akane, because even though
I've
it
not
says,
thought of that.
well, they never really, like, it says he's Katsu's brother, and even Ryusaki brought it up when he's like, yeah, you hid Osamu away just like you would hide Mei away in a few chapters ago when they had their little confrontation.
Mhm.
Which makes me think he is still of royal lineage to some degree.
Mhm.
But he looks like Hayashi and Akane. He's got the blonde hair, he's got the aqua emerald eyes.
Yeah.
I
think at this point, like, it's like, from what we can, like, tell through the story, like, there's quite a few concubines and stuff. Like, that's, harems are actually, like, a thing, and more practiced. So, like, if Osamu was not related to Hayashi and Akane, because that would make, I don't know why he would want her to marry Katsu then, but Osamu's probably a son of another concubine or something. I think of, like, Scarlet Heart Ryou, which is, like, the Korean drama with, like, 14 princes, and they all have different mothers.
Well, that's very possible too, and I still kind of hold to. Well, not hold to, but it's an idea or a theory I keep in the back of my mind that Hayashi, Yuta / Kozuke, Shibisaki, Ryusaki, and Katsu they all have the same father, but their mothers are all different. Which would be interesting and add a very interesting dynamic. But yeah, he just, because, like, how it's set up in, like, the red hairs, Kozuke and Shibisaki, and we even saw a girl in the recent episode that we dubbed 74. One of Akane's handmaidens at the palace had red hair. It seemed, and it's stated that he's from a different kingdom, and so it seems like the people with red hair are in a kingdom. Maybe the people with blonde hair are from a different kingdom. The white haired and the black hair. I wonder if that's how it's separated.
Like, by features.
By features, yeah. And maybe the common peasantry have the black hair like Mei and Ryusaki do.
And what fine hair it is.
It was so fine. Oh, the conditioner.
The conditioner. I just love how, like, we started this journey dubbing panels and, like, putting together episodes, and we were so hush-hush, at least I was, about, like, what ship we were on.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we didn't, like, when we first started dubbing and stuff, like, we wouldn't say whether or not we supported one or the other. We would always jump in back and forth. And then slowly we got on, like, the ship, and we started teasing other voice actors that, you know, me teasing Kodiak and vice versa about whose ship we were on. And now it's gotten to the point, like, as we're reading this podcast, every time Ryusaki shows up, I hyperventilate. And I'm just like, I love him. And
I do too.
I don't care anymore that people may get mad that I have a favorite. But
I mean, and I think at this point, like, you're gonna have a favorite.
exactly.
Like,
I'm like,
whether it's
guys,
Katsu or
May's
Ryusaki.
VA. May's
Yeah.
VA, not May. It's May's VA. Yeah. I can say that he's my dear cold-blooded king. Yeah.
Oh.
And then you can have your dear cold-blooded king. There you
Exactly.
go. It's
There you
everyone
go.
wins. And it's so funny because I don't like normally get involved in fandoms and ships and stuff. My
Mhm.
dear cold-blooded king is probably like the first fandom that I've ever been like, I have a ship and I am commenting on it like a teenage girl, which I'm technically not,
You're not anymore.
barely, but yes. I'm like,
Back in my day,
Back
we
in my
didn't work
day.
on these ships. We came over on these ships.
we had rafts. I don't know where I was going with that, but yeah. So it's been a lot of fun. It's been an interesting experience because like I don't know if I would jump on other ships like for other webtoons and stuff. I have
Mhm.
other ships, but like be as vocal or as like devoted to it.
Right.
You know, like I feel like it helps you know, make conversation and stuff with people when they're like, "Oh, who do you ship? You're doing the dub. Who's your favorite?" For me, obviously, it's Ryusaki just because it's the banter is so much fun.
It's so much fun.
And we have a type, people. It's okay.
Yes. I mean, I can say with quite assurance that, I mean, the tall, dark, handsome, kind of roguish, scoundrelly guy is, I'm kind of partial to. I kind of like that. But, Katsu has his very good features.
Yeah,
And
no, he's adorable.
being Akane's VA, and I'm not Akane, but I think that couple makes more sense now that we're getting all this information and the characters are continuing to be fleshed out. It's making more sense, but I still suspect Lifelight of pulling a Game of Thrones twist on us, and I don't know. I'm not sure. I feel secure in that it's going the way of Katsu, Akane, Ryusaki, and May. I can speak English.
Ryusaki.
Ryusaki. Yes. No. Yeah. Sorry. I must stop myself from being naughty. But anyway,
Oh.
I think those are kind of like where we're going, but I don't want to fall into that sense of security because I have a feeling something's going to happen.
Yeah, I hope she doesn't. The only thing that I hope that she doesn't do is kill them off. Tragically, that would be awful. But
Well-
I've done that to my characters, so I can't put it
Goodbye.
past anyone. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I've done that.
Yeah, and I'm, if you couldn't tell from previous podcasts where I've mentioned this, the Game of Thrones twist many times. And if you haven't watched Game of Thrones, you'll understand what I mean when you watch it, but please be of age.
I haven't watched it.
I know.
I'm never of age.
I don't think you would appreciate the storytelling and the character development, but none of the extra stuff. And I pretty much censor that anyway, because I'm just like, it's not necessary to the story. We could tell the story without this, but whatever. That's HBO for you boys and girls. But anyway, I have that little inkling that a pairing that we think is gonna happen isn't. Whether they get killed off or something happens, some event in the story happens. And just to reiterate, we don't know what's going on. Just because we're in contact with Lifelight doesn't mean we know what's going on. But that's just my kind of like, I feel like this building of tension between Hayashi and Shibisaki, because now Shibisaki is turned to the dark side. Sorry, had to do it. Had to do it to him.
Well, I guess he's just like confirmed dark side because he's never been like noticeably on the good side.
He's been mysterious, but now we're starting
Neutral.
to yeah, we see where his allegiances lie. He set up both trips. He set up burning the information about Daisuke. he was the one, he's always been suspicious of May. Yet he went to her for medical assistance earlier on. Physician.
Yeah, that he must have been truly desperate during that scene,
Yeah.
knowing what we know about him now to even consider her help.
Yeah. And then the first kind of like red flag for me was like when May was like, oh, you know, with your hair like that, you look like Ryusaki. And then he immediately cut it. Like, immediately was like, don't you dare confuse me with him. I don't like him. So I was kind of like, where I was kind of like, ooh, I wonder if he's going to et tu brute us at some point. And he kind of has. Which is interesting, like I said, with the building tensions and seeing where the allegiances are starting to settle now. Where earlier on there was tension between Katsu and Ryusaki. There was tensions between, or it seemed like Ryusaki was listening to Hayashi. Hayashi was against Katsu. They tried to pit AKANE versus May, and AKANE's too sweet, and she's just like, I like May. May's awesome. And so, like I said, we're starting, and then Kozuke and his whole faction and thing. But yeah, we're starting to see where the allegiances are settling. We're starting to see, not necessarily where the battle lines are drawn, but we're starting to see like where I think we're gonna start progressing. And like I said, I think there will be a surprise potentially.
Yeah. I think Katsu AKANE is probably going to be a thing. Whether it's like an official thing, like that is endgame, I'm not sure. But
I have a feeling it's not. I just have that inkling that they're not going to end up together. I don't know. That's my pessimistic side coming out, and I'm just like, I don't know. But I feel like we're going to get like that nice kind of like the moments we've had with them in the last couple episodes. I'm monologuing. I'm sorry. I'll stop in just a second. But we've had those nice moments with them, and I feel like, especially like if Hayashi, depending on how much Hayashi and Shibisaki has turned the palace against like Katsu and Ryusaki, it just makes me wonder like what type of situation Katsu and AKANE are gonna ride into at this point.
Yeah. I think if anything tragic were to happen to a couple, it would be to Katsu and AKANE.
Yeah, I would totally agree.
I don't think Hayashi has any real power. I think the general probably has more like physical powers than
Probably.
Hayashi does. Because I feel like Hayashi, even though he's royalty, like I don't think he has the power to turn the palace against him, especially with the palace knowing like what Katsu and Ryusaki are both capable of.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that they would fall for words alone, per se, which seems to be the only thing that Hayashi has.
Yeah.
So
and
I'm not worried about like the palace turning against them per se. It's more or less
Yeah.
just what he does to May or, you know, AKANE even.
yeah, and my only thing with Hayashi, even though we haven't seen him be super successful, he is kind of a behind-the-scenes manipulator. And he's in deep with Kozuke. And he's a user. He uses people to get where he wants to go.
He's actually a user though.
What?
Like a drug user.
Oh, yeah.
It's like he's a user in so many ways. I'm sorry, okay.
You
I
and
had
your
to
dad
make
joke.
the observation.
I know. But I wonder if that's why. Well, he tried to get to Ryusaki, and Ryusaki's like, bruh, no way. But he eventually got to Shibisaki, whether that was through his connection to Kozuke and potentially Shibisaki's connection to Yuta/Kozuke. But it seems like Shibisaki is very respected in the palace. I mean, even Ryusaki was like, hey, buzz off. I need to talk to Hayashi. We need to settle this. And he still even listened to Ryusaki at that point. But like I said, Shibisaki is so mysterious.
He's like the muscles. Hayashi would be the brains, and Shibisaki would actually get it done for him.
Yeah. And so that's why I wonder, like, him being... I mean, he is a general. He's General Shibisaki. It just makes me wonder how much influence that he could turn the soldiers against Ryusaki, where he's, you know, he could be like, you know, I've been the one that's been here, I've been the one that's helping, and Ryusaki's off, you know, gallivanting with this concubine and, you know, messing in royal affairs, etc., etc. Because I don't even know, I don't think, does Shibisaki know Ryusaki's parentage? Do we know if that?
I'm not sure.
I don't remember. Regardless, I could see Hayashi using Shibisaki to help turn the soldiers at the palace against Ryusaki and Katsu.
That's actually, hold on. That's actually like a good point. Like, who knows Ryusaki's actual heritage versus like, because he didn't tell Hayashi, from what it seems like, what his parentage is, or what his true position is. And so if he didn't tell Hayashi, probably because he's been, keeping him close this entire time, but if he didn't tell Hayashi and he didn't like grow up with the boys, I'm not sure. Aside from Katsu, because him and Katsu are obviously the closest. I'm not sure who actually knows of his official status.
Yeah. So I see like Hayashi, like being as creepy as he is, we don't want to give him the benefit of like he might actually be pulling strings manipulatively behind the scenes. So I think that's why he could be a dark horse along with Shibisaki in betraying everything and causing chaos to outbreak.
Yeah, he seems to be that character that like, even if you destroy him, like even if he were to get seriously like injured or something, something were to happen, that he would still like you. It's kind of like he's a snake, like you think he's dead, or a cockroach.
But not really.
You think he's dead, you think you've killed him, and then he just comes back.
Exactly.
I could see something like that happening, where you think you've gotten rid of him somehow.
Yeah.
And then he comes back. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what kind of like, it keeps me uneasy with him not like locked away in a cell or whatever, because Ryusaki just said like, dude, she's my bride, which is implying to me, he's telling Hayashi, I'm the Blood King. You've been messing around with the wrong guy this entire time.
It's gonna be your efforts are wasted.
You're basically, and that's gonna put him in a very desperate situation, especially like, and even Ryusaki brought up Akane and Katsu. Like, oh, you've been trying to get, your sister to marry Katsu when, I'm the Blood King. I don't come from royal means. So me marrying Mei isn't a big deal. So haha. I could see Hayashi becoming desperate at that point. And like I said, Katsu made the promise to Akane. So if Ryusaki goes off and kills Hayashi potentially, there's not much Katsu could do about it. Or if Shibisaki turns on Ryusaki in this moment, because we just saw him walk out the door. That doesn't necessarily mean he walked away, because Hayashi is his confidant and he's working with him.
I'm sure like Fast Pass users are laughing at us right now.
Probably, but
hold on.
Don't spoil it.
I was saying how it's kind of funny, like hearing your observations like versus mine, how much we kind of like think like our characters.
Yes.
Like you're kind of already like Akane, like you're a little more like worried, a little more like skeptical, and I'm like, just throw the person. It's just kind of funny. I'm like, it'll be fine.
I'm the strategist and you're the soldier.
Yeah,
which makes sense
it
for
makes
the characters.
It's why we are able to bring what we bring. But that's just funny.
Yeah.
I
sit there and like psychoanalyze, and I'm like, oh, but this person could be making this move. And this also comes from watching too much Game of Thrones. But this person could be doing this, and this person, and this could happen, and this could happen, and kind of watching from, taking in all the information like Akane has done. I mean, she's sat there and listened, excuse me, to, her brother's dealings from time immemorial. So she knows kind of like the inner workings of everything. Where Mei, on the other hand, hasn't. She's just kind of been thrown into this.
More action.
Yeah, and, it's defense, defense is the best offense for her. Where she's gotten a little bit more political savvy. But she still has moments where, like in this moment, obviously she needed to assert dominance over Hayashi.
And here we see the soldier asserting dominance over this
The
troubled
snake.
blonde. Yeah.
This troubled blonde. That's such a nice thing to say too.
I, you know,
But we
me.
still have to remember Joe's gonna voice this. But anyway,
I know. I still remember messaging him and being like, so.
about this upcoming episode.
He's like, I
my
read
dear.
it. I read it.
Oh.
I know. I'm sorry.
He truly is bomb at the end of the day.
Yeah, he is. And that's just what's funny about it, because like he's gonna have to get all creepy, and then the thing is and the thing that you guys like, not all of you guys, but some of you guys don't realize is that like I edit, you know, most of the stuff, and so I have to like listen to a set of lines repeatedly.
And,
and
then pick what's the best one.
Yeah, each actor sends me like, you know, 2-3 takes of a line. I have to put that
Or I send
line
you 15.
in. Or yeah, if you're Kane or Hayashi, who have two very diligent voice actors,
Yay.
they will send me like 10 takes per line.
We got mixers and emotions there.
Yeah.
And every conceivable option you could possibly want.
It's great, but it's a lot of time, and like
Yeah.
But like once you put the line in, then you have to like, you know, you rewatch it as you're editing the scene and adding, you know, music and all that. So like you end up hearing that line a lot. So you wonder why, you know, steamy episodes are so hard, or, you know, why episodes like this are so awkward for me, because I have to listen to this like on repeat, and it's my voice. Like that's it's not weird, because like I'm used to it, and it's what voice actors do. You know, they're very professional with their jobs, and so like this doesn't really. If I'm my professional self speaking, this doesn't bother me one bit. But if I'm myself, like taking a moment to step back and be like, let's listen to this episode where my character makes out with another character for like 5 minutes, and I have to listen to that while I edit. You know, you can imagine that gets a bit weird or uncomfortable.
Just a little.
And then, you know,
Just
you can separate. Thank God, goodness. I don't want to say thank God. Oh, sorry. Thank goodness that, you know, you can. I'm not a method actor, and you can like separate.
Yeah.
You know, yourself from the character, so it's not weird at any point. But like I've worked with some voice actors who get too invested in their characters. None from the cast, hallelujah. But because like, you know, like you have to trust the person that you're voice acting with to some extent.
Absolutely.
So like Chrome and Kodiak, I trust them. I can voice this type of stuff with them, and I know that it's not going to get weird. And I appreciate that so much. I would not be doing these scenes if I thought that it was weird. And so there's that, and then there's, you know, some actors who can't separate it, or people who can't separate like us from the stuff, and so they'll be like, "Ooh, like you're actually doing this with so and so," and I'm like,
It's like,
no,
no.
Well, it's
As
acting.
much as exactly. It's like, as much as I love Joe and Kodiak, it's like, no. I'm also probably older than all of you, so that would also be kind of
Actually, no, I think
strange.
you and Chrome are the same age.
Are we?
I think so.
Are we the elders of the group?
I'm
Although
okay,
Easy Peasy's probably the eldest.
which is
I would
great
say.
because he's Fujioka.
Yes.
I really hope
And
he
then
stays on.
probably RSB.
RSB, yeah. Ambassador.
Yeah. Although I think he's either my age or a year older. So he's not that much. We're around the same age.
he's
And then
amazing.
Chrome,
He is. Oh my gosh.
I think Chrome's around the same age as you. if I
Chrome's
remember
around my
correctly.
age. And then like you and Kodiak are the babies of the group. Is that right?
Yeah. No.
You
well,
you, Joe, and Kodiak. Y'all are kind of in the same age range, aren't you?
I think so. Age-wise, I'm one of the youngest of the cast. Kodiak's older than me, only barely, but he still is. I think some of the extras are younger. That pop up because, you know, there's that. But like, the main cast, I'm pretty sure the only one that's younger than me, barely, is Joe, Dr. Bonehead Hayashi. I think he's the only one that I can think of in the main cast that's younger than me. All the guys, Zind, Chrome, Kodiak, they're all older than me. And no, wait, Shibisaki might be. younger. Captain
Is he?
Eagle. Either we're the same age or he's like a year younger. So like Shibisaki and Hayashi, the two potential baddies are the only ones that are younger than me.
I see how this is.
Which was great when I found out, because like I didn't know that I was like the youngest one of my own cast, or one of the youngest ones. And
you're the boss. You boss all us around.
I try not
Just kidding. You don't. You're like the easiest person to work with ever.
Oh, thank you.
You're just like I will tell this to the listeners. I'm a bit tardy with lines sometimes. I have had a lot of stuff going on recently, and I'm a little bit tardy, and so I get the little very sheepish message from Ruka, like, so do you think I could have the lines by tomorrow night? And then I'm like, no, I meant to do this today. I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. Like, you guys.
No, it's good. It keeps me honest, because I forget. I admit I forget sometimes, and I think I've sent them because I downloaded them from, like Discord or whatever. So I'm like, oh yeah, I already did those. And I'm like, oh, no, I didn't. Oh my gosh.
And that's the thing, is that like, because this is a non-profit thing where like, I can't afford to pay the actors. They're just here out of their passions and their need for practice and stuff. I don't like to get on to anyone. Like, if I need lines, I don't want to be like, give me your lines, because they're not being paid to do this. They can take their time if they want. Usually it's just like, you have to give me like a warning beforehand so I can prepare.
Yeah.
Because I normally edit the episodes like the night before. Or the night before. The night before day of the release, because that's the reason episodes take so long to put together isn't the initial editing process, because I've kind of gotten the hang of my style now. It's very simple. Mm-hmm. It's more or less giving the actors time to give me lines every week. Yeah. Because you don't want to like give me lines and then 2 days later more lines. Like, you have to give it some time. Mm-hmm. So that's not a lot of pressure, and so that's the main thing, is just waiting on actors' lines and my own lines. I've had times where I've not had my lines in before everyone. Yes. Jedi knows, because Jedi has to edit them.
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember like the deadline had passed and you're like, oh yeah, I forgot to send these. And I was like, I'm working on them right now.
I was like, thank you.
Yes.
Jedi.
It's easier to balance when like it's just May's lines for the week, or I have to clean up an extra here or there. Yeah. Just minor stuff. But AKANE is in the 2 dubbed episodes that are coming up. Like, I haven't had 3 back-to-back episodes as AKANE ever. I've had like one kind of here or there, but 74 and 75 are big. Like, AKANE and Katsu talk a lot.
Yeah. And so we're taking this week off. Which is so rare. We never take time off, hardly ever.
No, but it works out.
It does, because both a couple cast members, Jedi's out of town. I'm in a wedding. Chrome's in a wedding. Like, like it's just we happen to be.
It's wedding season, boys.
Yeah, exactly.
Boys and girls. So that works out, but it's when I got a lot of mine, as you could tell from the conversation earlier, I do way too many takes, and I shouldn't, but I do, because I'm like, what if she was, more confident in this one? What if she was a little more timid in this one?
It was like 5 minutes of you whimpering this week.
Well,
it was perfect because I could cut what I needed, but like, I literally just sat there listening to this poor child whimper for like 5 minutes straight.
I'm sorry.
It was great.
But I like,
was sad.
In the panels though, it's like she kind of like looks and notices Ryusaki and May, and they're in their typical banter about snoring and all that, which is hilarious. So it's like the contrast that I was trying to like balance is like, I don't want her to obviously be like, but like super overdone, but it's subtle because the tears are welling up in her eyes, and when that happens to you don't make a lot of noise, but because this is voice, there has to be a little bit. So it was trying to like balance between like, is it kind of more like a sniff, or is it kind of like like you're getting ready to, but not?
She gave me all those options.
Full sob. and more.
Yeah, it was. No, seriously, it's awesome. Like, it's not bad whatsoever. It's just kind of funny when we can like egg each other about it, because it was sad this week. It was also really cute. Too.
It was very cute. And doing the high-pitched giggles and stuff for her when she's younger.
Which is so funny, because I was like, I've heard this giggle before. Where have I heard this giggle before? Episode 1.
Yes. Yep.
Episode 1, you
of the Walla characters.
When you could hear, it's like a little boy's laugh or whatever at the very beginning. And I was like...
Yeah, there's like little kids running through. Yeah.
I was like, God, that's the laugh.
That's it. And, but yeah, it's very much Easter egg. But that was before I don't even think AKANE was written into the story at that point, because she comes in at like episode 22 or something. Yeah. I think that was my first appearance as her. So yeah, I just had to make up a bunch of characters for the first episode.
Yeah, I was like, can we get some crowd children, peasants
crowd
here?
children, and then I was the girl that was petting. I was the old lady.
You were basically all the women in that scene, weren't you?
I think I was. And the audience did catch, a few of the audience members caught on, because they're like, you need more extras. I hear the same person doing the same thing.
It was the first episode, okay?
The old lady was bad, and the narrator sounds the exact same as the people in the
I love the
I
narration,
get it.
Okay? The narration draws you in, man. I was like, this sounds beautiful. Seriously, when I first heard it, I was like,
a palace.
Yes, I was like, she's gonna be May one day. And I'm like, she just sounds too good. It was great.
But the thing is with you, my voice, when I'm not like really pulling back and being like really demure, and AKANE is kind of stuttery sometimes, because she's so scared of literally everything. But bless her, she has a reason. I think I would be a little too hard-edged vocally for May. I would have the whole like raw soldier thing, but you pull it back so well in like the more sensitive and intimate moments where, you know, like with, and I know you're not going to be pleased when I bring this up, but the part where she's traumatized by Kozuke, it was just like, oh, my heart, I can't take this. This is no, I want to hug May.
Excellent.
You did it so incredibly well. And then Drunk May was just perfect. And especially in the episode where Ryusaki takes her to her family.
Mm-hmm.
And just that little bit of the playfulness that you have with Chrome, I think I would be like way too hard edged for that, because I'd just be like, I'd be a little too, I'd be too over the top. Idiot!
Well,
I would fall into my hockey self very quickly. I'm like,
I'm
stupid
just glad. You're all stupid.
You're stupid.
I'm just glad in the end of the day that like I chose my natural voice for May.
It's so perfect.
Which is
like, you literally couldn't have picked a more perfect voice. Like, I'm totally serious. And there are sometimes like when you watch dubs of stuff where you're like, I don't know if that voice fits, or you look at a character and you kind of imagine like what their voice might sound like.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like a perfectly fit puzzle piece. It was just like, that's exactly how I would have thought she would sound, and you nailed it. Like, it's just
my heart.
It's seriously, it's just so incredibly perfect.
I'm so glad. That was like one of my, when I was looking at webtoons, like kind of figuring out what characters to do, like when we first started, and seeing May, I was like, I have long black hair and blue eyes. Maybe I could just, I mean, what you look like physically has nothing to do with how you can voice act a character. Nope. But it helps you relate to them sometimes. You're like,
it does.
Sure. I was like, okay, not too feminine, not too masculine either, just like a medium voice. And I specialize in medium voices. So I was like, you know what? Let's do this. And I'm really, really glad people have been so amazing. And Lifelight, herself being so supportive of it. I was like, I could not be happier with a project to grow with. And it makes me happy. She's definitely grown me.
Oh, yeah. And definitely, like, not just, I mean, you obviously do fantastic as May, but your casting of all of the boys was phenomenal. Like, I literally
Yeah,
can't look at
girl.
Ryusaki without hearing Chrome's voice. I
Right?
can't look at Katsu without hearing Kodiak's voice. I can't look at Kozuke without hearing Zen's voice. It's annoying how perfect all their voices fit what I would think that their characters would sound like.
Yes.
And just not even from the production side of it, but just from like as a fan's point of view now, I'm just like, I can't imagine them any other way. And Joe is Hayashi, even though that's such a character contrast from him.
Mhm.
It's so good because he brings that innocence and kind of like, oh, you know, I'm just this royal prince, like, don't mind me. But then he can bring out that really
You hear
darker
Snake.
side.
You
hear the snake. And
yeah, it was.
it's just perfectly cast.
Oh, I was very
Mama
like.
Ruka.
I know, like I'm not crying. You are. I'm so proud of the cast, and I say it all the time, but.
I was say, let me turn on my 5-minute Foley reel of me sobbing and whimpering from.
Oh, I've got that
I'm not crying.
memorized. Yeah. The audience is like, what the crap?
Anyway, sorry.
He's super proud. I tell the cast this, hopefully, you know, so to where they believe me, but like I'm so proud of them and grateful to be able to work with such amazing talents. And it's like,
Yes.
I was super picky about the voices when I started because I want to put, you know, what I imagine their voices to be like as close as I can. So when I saw Kozuke, I was like, Zind. I'd worked with Zind before, and I was like, Zind. He could literally make someone swoon in their grave. I don't know. It's just, he's amazing. Like, he just fits those dark, sultry characters. And I was like, okay, maybe I can get him. Which I'm stunned that I have the cast that I do because they're all so incredible and could be doing other things. And so I'm like, oh, please never leave me because you never know. I really hope not.
You never know.
But
I don't see us going anywhere.
I hope not.
You're stuck with me.
Yes.
And
I'm
you
so
know, after my brilliant performance tonight, I could play all the boys if they want a week off or whatever.
glad. Yeah, totally. We were gonna do that for the cold read episode script. The switcheroo.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Yes. Let's do it. I'm apparently already Katsu. You can be a Ryusaki or Kozuke. You have your pick.
Oh, who would I want to be? I think Ryusaki would probably be the easiest.
Yeah.
I want to hear Joe be Kozuke. He gets to play another evil character.
He would. Man. But like when I heard Chrome's audition for Ryusaki, so Chrome was probably the only actor that was like already a fan of the series when we started.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was a fan, and I was like, I had no idea. And he was an extra. Joe introduced me to him, and he was actually an extra in episode 2.
Oh, I remember that.
So
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, so Chrome is actually the guy who gets like the arrow through him in episode 2. And this is before he was cast as Ryusaki. And then he had done Ryusaki for like for one of Akon's dubs. Like she wasn't doing My Dear Cold Booking, but she did like an episode. And he had an audition reel from that, and he sent me that, and I literally was so like, this is it. This is perfect.
Yep.
I need this person to be this character. And like, you know when you find something so good and you get super nervous that it's not going to work out because you're like, it's so perfect, and now that I've heard it, no one else will do. And then I had to ask him, and then I was like, please say yes. And of course he answers kind of like Ryusaki. It's like, yes, hearts and all that.
Aww,
he was
good old Crow.
He was great. And then Kodiak was the one I had no experience with. Like, I had not worked with him prior. I had asked actually a few other people to be Katsu that I didn't hear back from, just like people that I'd known that I wasn't really sure if their voice would fit, but I was like, hey, you want to audition for this character, that type of thing. And then I saw Kodiak's demo reel, and there was one voice in between there. I was like, that'll work.
That's what
that'll
I
do. I want that. And so I contacted him, and he's Kodiak. The rest is history. So it was
Good old Kodiak.
that's how the mains came about, and I would recommend them to anyone. So
Absolutely.
and of course AKANE.
I'll say you're
Sweet
stuck with
Tim
me,
and
honey.
AKANE. You kidding? That's awesome. I'm like, thank goodness Jedi never leave me.
And I'm very thankful you brought me on board right at the start of the whole thing.
And we become
I
such
stacked
good
the
friends.
thing off.
We didn't really know
Yes.
each other
No, we didn't. We had been in
before
one like comic
Star
dub
Wars
prior.
Yeah, we were in Star Wars together.
And like I through the production, like there wasn't. That was back in the day when Discord channels like weren't a thing.
Yeah, that was one of my first like what I considered like big voice acting jobs, even though you know it wasn't that big, but it was like my first like well produced voice job, comic dub on YouTube, and I was like,
Yeah.
I was so nervous. Yeah.
And throughout that whole production, like we really didn't communicate that much. And I forget, like, I think did I reach out to you or did you reach out to me?
You reached out to me, and you were like, "Hey, I'm the queen.
Yeah,
I'm the queen from the dub," and I was like, "Oh, Your Highness." I remember.
That's
I
right,
was
that's
like,
right,
Your
that's right.
Majesty. Like I was like, "It's
Yeah.
you."
I remember being so embarrassed, just like because I'm kind of a very private person where I don't like, you know, like,
Same.
hey, come be my friend. And you were literally like the first voice actor like I had worked with that I was like, hey, how's it going?
Oh, Jedi.
Hi. And I remember being like so nervous of like, you know, is she gonna think I'm, you know, like mooching off of her, or, you know, like trying to like
Girl,
go with some angle or
if
something.
anything,
And
I'm mooching off of you.
no, that is incorrect. That is incorrect. You're the one with 55,000 subscribers on YouTube, and I just got to 100 the other day.
Yes.
But I don't put anything out.
That's still awesome. Why didn't you tell me? I would have celebrated with confetti.
No. I have
Shoot,
one
well, now
thing.
I know.
Well, you do know now. But I don't put out content like a Queen Ruka does. The only thing I have on my YouTube channel, self plug, is a horrible audition for the Mass Effect contest for the new Mass Effect that came out a long time ago. Yeah, and it's bad, and I can't listen to it anymore, but I also can't bring myself to take it down.
It's growth, but like for me, I don't.
It is.
When it comes to subscribers and stuff, like I don't hold on to that per se, because like you're all here because of, you know, Lifelight's art and the amazing cast and everything that we put together as a team. So even though it's my channel and it's what I run and I produce, I don't see them as my subscribers, you know. I just exactly. I'm like, this is a team effort. I would not be where I am without y'all. So that's definitely, I contribute everything to that. And it's just, it was so cool that through episode 1 and all this of My Dear Cold-Blooded King, which is funny how we started out with this, you know, Hayashi chapter, and now we're talking about this. But it's cool how we just started talking and doing more projects together. And we're pretty like-minded, so like that's for us, that's rare in this arena, and so
it is.
We get along pretty well, I'd say.
Yeah, I think we get along very well.
Very well. She puts up with my dad jokes. It's great.
I have to rein you in sometimes.
Yeah,
but
yeah, she does.
I have a very dry British sense of humor, so I do appreciate the dad jokes from time to time.
She's like my
I enjoy them all the
older
time.
sister.
Yes.
Basically.
Even though the funny thing is you're the eldest of your family, correct?
Yes.
And I'm the youngest of mine, but I ended up being her online older sister.
Because she's older than me. And she's also more...
Yeah.
Like pretty...
Don't.
What?
I'm not prettier. We'll get that one ironed out. I was like, nope.
Differ, you're adorable. And
no.
She more like life experience, a little more mature. I tend to like, I only react to stuff with Jedi. I won't like show my emotions to the public just because it's not a safe place.
No.
So like Jedi has seen a lot of different sides of me that not a lot of people have seen, and she's been very like gracious in helping me through things and vice versa. Like it's just been very nice to have someone I can trust and and be open with. And so
Yeah.
that was all through this, and that's pretty awesome. Like, that's just when you make actual friends through it.
Exactly. And, you know, taking a risk sometimes does pay off. I mean,
Yeah.
Bleh, I can English. I remember being like, you know, should I contact this person? Like, I don't know how they're gonna, you know, how they're gonna react or whatever. But you know, it worked out really nicely.
Yeah, it did.
Because my buddy,
No.
she has to put up with me, and
I do, and I
put
love
up with
it.
her dad jokes in return.
Yep.
And
And my broken flute versions of Careless Whisper in
oh,
the wee hours of the
no.
morning. I'm like, Jedi, check this out. It's 3 a.m.
And I'm just like, why?
But,
Why?
but May's so mature.
Although-
It's great.
But I did counter with the Mission Impossible.
That
broken
is true.
recorder
So, like,
version.
we're basically on a level playing field here.
Yeah. I could have sent the Titanic version. The Titanic one's pretty good.
You send me, like, funny videos more than I send you
send her-
funny videos,
I do.
which is
I
amazing. 'cause
look
I'm
at-
like, yes.
I look at memes before I go to sleep, so
I
can go to
send
sleep.
you screaming sharks drinking beer.
I love the screaming shark. I'm trying to find a gif of that so we can use it.
I love the
But-
screaming shark. It's my
The
mood.
screaming
That's me after I finish an audition. Just slam the bottle
Ah.
down, scream.
Yes. Oh my gosh, yes.
Oh.
And the robot voiceovers
Oh,
those have
yes.
carried us through.
Oh, those are
So good.
oh, such good times. Anyway, we should probably end this podcast since
We probably should.
we've been rambling on about semi-related things, but
Yes.
thank you guys so much for listening and for just being on this journey with us. Hopefully
Yes.
we will name this podcast eventually. Probably not. At this point, it's a thing. And we're hoping
It's
to
just a
do
thing.
we're hoping to do like more webtoons than just My Dear Cold-Blooded King in the future. So like
Mhm.
we've gotten a lot of good name suggestions, but they've all been like My Dear Cold-Blooded King related. So it's like
Yeah.
we're trying to find something a little more vague, I guess.
Okay.
To fit a whole spectrum of whatever this is. So but you know, this is just something we do for fun, and
Mm-hmm.
we're just so glad you guys, if someone gets a laugh out of it, then we've done our job. So well, I guess we'll see you guys sometime soon. We'll take a week
Yes.
off, and don't know when the next live reading will be, but
Yep.
yeah, it's been fun. So
And we'll have more for sure.
yeah.
We got to set up that table read.
Yes, I'll get the
gotta
boys
pick a-
together.
Yes, we gotta pick one where it has all the characters, and we can go to town, and that'll be ridiculously fun.
We need to get like RSB in on it, please. Can he be May? Can the ambassador be May?
Oh,
I would love that so much. I want to try to swoon the ambassador as May. It's my new goal in life.
dude.
Yes.
We need a gender swap on episode 34.
Oh crap! Wait, what's episode 34? Can't believe I'm
Where
blanking on this.
The ambassador confesses.
That is
to
the
being
confession.
secret admirer.
Yes, yes. My
And
dove. Yes.
My dove, and
Oh
then
my
just have the gender swap of Ryusaki and
It's
the
a
ambassador.
Boat? That's the line that I remember doing so much. It's a boat. Oh, that was a fun segment of episodes.
It's a boat.
It's a boat? Oh my gosh.
And just that whole monologue that he has.
Oh, and I
Take
love
this.
the name. The Ryusaki's name. Like where he gets all happy.
Yes.
And the dramatic
You said
"No!"
my name.
Little scream I added in there. I was like, what would I do if a hunk of a person just like glomped me from behind? And I was like, no touchy, no touchy, no touchy. I'm like, I'd probably scream really unflatteringly, so that's what I did.
Yeah. And it's totally such
totally
oh my
accurate.
gosh, that episode's so good.
I love it.
Oh, I was so excited to get to that one. I was just like, oh please.
Say
And
my
just
name.
The
No.
lead up.
Yeah.
No. Say it again.
Yeah, please. This is that last little like please where I'm like, okay. Ryusaki, there you go. But no, May's not like that. And I actually I wasn't too much on Ryusaki's side when I was recording those episodes either at the time.
I don't think we neither one of us was really like on a
team
ship at that point. Other than the OTP, the one and only
Ambassador
May.
May.
Yes.
Yeah, no, neither of us were on a team at that point. So like, it's only recently that we've been like devoted to our ship.
Yep.
And that's because we can. So
we can.
And you can too. You can be.
Yes.
Do you have a moment to talk about our?
Want.
Yeah. Do you have a moment to talk about our Blood King and Savior Ryusaki Hayate?
No. Oh, we are such a mess.
It's getting later. I'm not responsible for what happens after 11 p.m. and it's 11:50, girl. We're down that rabbit hole.
We are down the rabbit hole.
We're supposed to be saying goodbye. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Goodbye, everyone.
We love you all. Don't spoil it for us. And we will see you on the podcast that has no name whenever we get around to doing the next episode. So bye.
Bye.